Yo, what up gamers, Report Arc here, and it's that time of year. We're going to be starting a new Arnhem Master series as part of the new season 13. Going to be a new season, new chance to prove myself, and also give you guys the opportunity to learn from me as I climb from the lower ranks to the higher ranks. And we're going to be starting off with Xayah. Xayah just got buffed in patch 13.1. And I was actually not sure how big a buff it would be, but it turns out it was actually pretty huge. It was a ratio buff to her attack speed ratio, also her base attack speed that went up by like 0.25 or something like that. And the ratio also went up by 0.25 or something like that. But I don't know exactly what that means. Attack speed ratio buffs are like really complicated to understand, so I wasn't sure whether that would affect her greatly or only slightly. But it seems like it was a pretty big buff because her win rate has gone up by about 2%, a bit over. So it's looking really promising. If Xayah's win rate stays the way it is, she's actually going to be looking like quite a strong ADC on this patch. Which is good news for me, because I really like Xayah ADC. That's fine. And I'm experimenting with a bit of a different rune setup compared to what I usually do, at least for my secondary runes. Gonna be running cookies and Cosmic Insight for that reduced summoner cooldown. Usually if I'm going Inspiration, I always go... Oh. I always go Free Boots, which I think is a really good rune, but I'm also just gonna experiment going with Cosmic Insight here. Oh, this could be a kill. There we go. Perfect. Well played, Swain. Awesome. Honestly, he's done more effort and he's put more work into this matchup than I have so far. He did almost all of Miss Fortune's HP. Okay, we can go ahead and recall now. So for the build for Xayah, I don't think really anything has changed. Let's just grab a pickaxe here. So the attack speed ratio going up, it means that she makes more use out of the attack speed that she builds. It means that for each point of attack speed that she builds, she actually gets more attack speed out of it. It's a weird system. I bet very few people actually know about it, but it's like why Caitlyn, for example, is not the best ADC to build attack speed with, although, I mean, it's still worth it anyway. Which just goes to show the ratio isn't too important, like, in regards to, like, what you want to build, but it does definitely impact, like, how effective your champion is. In general. And so, I mean, we're gonna be doing Phantom Dancer this game, because I still like Phantom Dancer. I feel like it's the best second item choice, generally. But it's, just know that it's not purely because of the attack speed ratio buff. It seems like the Collector build went up by just as much in terms of win rate. So every build is still like just as viable as they were before. It's just Xayah as a champion is now better than she was in previous patches. Okay, Swin is a little bit low. He hasn't actually based yet. Probably, it's a bit of a waste because if he were to base and get his HP back, he could go back to being aggressive in this lane, but... Okay, well, while Morgana has no Q up, this is an opportunity for me to go aggressive. There we go, that's going to be a quick kill there. Do I get the cannon as well? No, I do not. Alright. If we try and shove this wave fast enough, we might actually be able to dive the Miss Fortune. Or is Swin just going to base? Okay, it's just going to base. In that case, I would rather freeze, but it looks like he's changed his mind again. Looks like he actually wants to stay, so I could have been shoving. It's going to be too late to dive now. Oh well. Go ahead and put a point in E. I think that's the only thing we want to max on Xayah right now. Here we go. Almost all of that. Still haven't had a reason to use the cookies, but the great thing about the cookies is that they do give you like 120 mana. Once you've consumed them all, so even if somehow the sustain just turns out to be like a complete waste, like you didn't need it at all, I feel like people just really underrate cookies because they only think about the sustain And they think, wow, this sustain is dog shit, but what about the 120 money you could get to keep for the rest of the game? You know, I just sold my cookies without using them, and I get 80 mana for that. And Xayah, as we know, is a champion who obviously is very spell reliant. That's why she used to build Essence Reaver. Sometimes still does. I mean, you can do it if you want. It's a viable item. But, you know, cookies help you deal with the fact that you don't have that extra source of mana.
Our Vestayan essence fades with each passing day.
So far, I haven't had to use any of my summoners either, though. But it is a really good rune, this thing. It's reducing my flash cooldown by about 46 seconds, I believe, which is just absolutely huge. That can easily save your life so many times, even in a single game. I'm just gonna leave this next wave and see if I can do anything here. I don't think we can, though. No, I'm just gonna turn around, head back to this wave. I'll just try and crash this real fast. Thankfully I'm Xayah, so I got a lot of wave clear. Use my W to shove it just a little bit faster. Hopefully that still crashes even though I started shoving late. Okay, we're just gonna go for a quick trade and back off. Why did she flash? Okay, I gotta remind myself this is presumably Iron MMR. Should be at least. Okay, big chunk on her. We'll play a little bit carefully here. Okay, I see Xayah leaving. Or Xayah, rather. We can try and snipe Xayah, or sorry, Misfortune with a QE, but I'm not predicting that to be a kill with her current level of HP. We could also just dive her. I think I'm gonna do that. Use my E now. Want to use it nice and early, even though I haven't set up all my feathers, just so I can get it off cooldown faster, while still helping me shove the wave. Now, hopefully, this should just be either a clean dive, or I just zone her off of a ton of farm. She decides. But she's not gonna survive if I dive her here. I'll tell you that much. Not if she is alone, at least. Okay, so she misses out on a huge wave. Currently got about a 4 TCS lead. We can see Morgana still in the river, so I'm just gonna shove again and just keep trying to go for that dive. She's half HP now, but I still have my ult, which would do a lot of burst unless she flashes it. But with Morgana here already, there's just not gonna be a chance of that working out. Okay. She's playing it really, really safe, but my CS lead just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Obviously, I would rather have the kill, because, I mean, if I killed her, she'd miss the same amount of farm anyway, right? But definitely would prefer to be getting... Even if somehow, like, the choice were to kill and not grow CS lead, or grow CS lead without killing, I'd still rather go for the kills, because you kind of need kills to compete in games where the enemies happen to get really fed. It's not happened so far in this game, but you never know. Could happen still. So far, it's looking like we probably won't need 1v9 in this game, though, which is good. So I've actually got my Berserkers 20 seconds sooner than if I'd gone Magical Footwear. How nice is that? But again, like, I haven't used my Summoners a single time. The problem with trying to test this setup is I do, like, know from past experiences during Arthur Masters that in the early games, I don't actually use my Summoners much. Like, literally, I could run Ghost Cleanse, it wouldn't matter. There's not many situations where I get forced to use my Flash, or my Heal, or my Exhaust, for example. So we might not get to properly test this until we climb a little bit more. We can probably dive her. We got a massive lead, and I've got my ultimate to reset the third act, bro. She's giving so much respect, though. Okay, here we go. So dodge that turret shot. There we go. God, that one shot. She killed the wave. So we need to back off, but yeah, goddamn. And you guys, I mean, I'm not even massively fed there, right? That's just something that Xayah can do if she has a lead. She is extremely good at turret diving just because of the fact that she can dodge one turret shot and then reset the turret aggro onto the minions as well.
Like they know what to do with him.
There was no chance for Misfortune to dodge my feathers there either with her E. Sorry, with my E, unless she flashed it. I'm gonna go ahead and base now. I've got my mythic now. And this particular game, we're going to go for Guild Force, but I think these days you can do either one on Xayah. Definitely, Kraken Slayer should be considered, probably 4. If you're facing multiple tanks, or just one very tanky tank, like Rammus for example. But also feel like, in a sense, Guild Force is a bit overrated on her because of the fact that she's already one of the safest ADCs with ult. Like, a lot of the things that most ADCs would want to like use Guild Force to get out of the way from, Xayah already has her ult for, and having Guild Force on top of that is a bit overkill. I know that people like the Guild Force because it helps you do like some pretty fancy E root combos where you just get the feathers in the way of the opponent thanks to the mobility gain from Guild Force, like sort of like Flashy but using Guild Force instead of the Flash. I mean, that can be nice, but it's very niche. It's a lot more flashy than it is useful. It's not every game you even get a chance to do that, I would say, so... But in a game like this, I don't really need the extra damage from Kraken Slayer either, so we can just go for Guild Force, even if it's just for a little bit more safety, even if not necessarily for those flashy E combos. We'll see if I get a chance to do one or not. Guess I'm just gonna get to take this turret. Awesome. I don't have the cooldowns that I would like to have in order to dive, sadly. What we can do though is we can just go for this blue buff. Got us season 13 jungle, so this is gonna take a while. Oh god. Okay, I got the blue, and now I'm gonna leave. Right, that's a buff successfully stolen from the enemy jungler. I'm just gonna base now as well. God, I got an 80 CS lead. That's really brutal this early on.
Essence fades with each passing day.
Nice one. Yes, I'm just looking at the ranks. Pretty much everybody in this game was bronze last season. Not even iron, but it takes a lot of effort to even demote iron, even if your MMR is iron, so could be that these are just iron level players anyway, even if their visual rank last season was bronze. Tend to get a lot of bronze players in iron lobbies for that reason.
Rebellion puts the fire in my blood.
Okay, we can just go ahead and start trying to impact the map now. Or I can steal this Gromp, rather. Why not? Should be a free steal. It's just very useful if you can just take away the enemy camps whenever possible. It really sets the enemy jungler behind if you just get this much map control and this much leeway. You can just really do that. As you're on your way to like rotate to places. Well, that was sort of a E Guild Force combo. I suppose technically if for it to be a proper combo I would have had to use E and then Guild Force, but the outcome is the same.
They never saw it coming.
Ooh, not gonna be a root or a kill. Okay, wolves are down. I could probably do with recalling. I've got my second item now. Oh. Exhaust Wolfbound, make sure you can't kill Syndra. That's my first summoner you saw game, man. See what I mean? But it's on a 23-second lower cooldown. Crazy. I guess I'll just stick around for one more wave. Since you got the same idea, but it's much safer for me to do it than for her to do it, given the fact that she is much lower. And I've also got my ult for self-protection. Not that I think it's likely anybody would come anyway. Yeah, we'll finish the Phantom Dancer. It's just one of 3 viable choices you have at this point for Xayah. The best second item options I would say are Phantom Dancer, Collector, and Essence Reaver. I would say all 3 are probably like pretty similar in strength. So it's like really personal preference which you want to run. And then there's also the possibility of running Lord Dominic's second item if the enemies have a lot of armor, but generally you would want to avoid that. That's like the worst case scenario that you have to build that. Because it gives very little AD, so that means like very little damage onto minions, very little damage onto low armor targets, very low damage onto drakes, camps. Just affects your whole game flow. You might as well stay here and shove, I guess. And for third item, what we're going to be going for is Navori. I think this is always better than Infinity Edge. I already thought it was better than Infinity Edge last season, and now it's just even more so the case.
They say I don't know when to quit. Like that's a weakness.
Definitely, I don't see any point in building Infinity Edge and Xayah anymore, because it's going to do both less damage than the Navori build, at least in extended fights. And it's also going to give you much less utility, which means less movement speed from your W and less roots. And even less safety, because you're not going to get the 20 CDR or 20 ability haste for your ultimate. So what's the point of doing less damage just to have less of everything else as well, you know? It's pointless. Navori is always better, and always was. The only thing the Navori change did was cement that for Xayah, and also make it also true for some other champions now as well. I'm just gonna go for the wolves. I mean, the enemies aren't protecting their camps at all. I'm now ahead to the point where I could probably just kill anybody who tries to take those camps, but they could at least like transcend multiple people after me if I do that. Just have very little map control right now. You can see Dana's also got the same idea, just taking away their camps. Any chance I could kill Morgana here? Nope, no need. I don't know what the point of that ult was. Okay. Probably was a cleaner way to execute that, but I guess the outcome would have been the same in the end anyway. I just would have dealt a little bit more damage and maybe taking a little bit less damage too. I can already base for Navori. I guess I'll stick around. Got exhaust and flash if I need them. I'm very low though. Not much to do there. Yeah, let's just leave here. I'm just gonna base no matter what. I'm gonna ignore everything else my team does from now on. I've got far too much gold to be sticking around on 30% HP on. So, final item here. I don't think the game will last long enough to actually get to it, so I don't have to decide. But, my main choices basically would be Bloodthirster. For general safety and general damage, or Lord Dominic's. If you just want to like either like completely maximize your damage, even against people who are not stacking armor, although I generally wouldn't advise that unless they are stacking armor. And you know, just obviously countering armor on the enemy comp. So far they've got 2 Tabis, but that's about it. I don't find that worth building Lord Dominic's against. Even if they had like 2 Zanyas or 1 Zanyas on top of all the Tabis, I still wouldn't consider that worth it. Because when you consider the amount of safety you can get from building Bloodthirster, you know, the damage increase from going Lord Dominic's is not going to be worth it in a game like this. God, that damage on the Morgana. I'm so glad Xayah's strong right now, because I never really got much chance to experiment with the new Navori on her, which feels so much better than Infinity Edge. Like, you just do such insane damage with your E at the moment, it's ridiculous. I don't think anybody's used to that yet. Even just the QE combo is now, it hits like old lethality Xayah, pretty much. So if I can hit one. Oh. So good ult if I need it. Okay. Such insane damage, I love it. Alright, and that's gonna finish off the first game of our Aren't the Master series. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see the rest of the series. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Briefly though, I will just say, the last few times that I've done Aren't a Master, I would upload through like pretty much 3 videos a day. I'm not gonna do that yet, at least, because currently ad revenue in January is really bad. It would feel like a complete waste of this series to, you know, try and rush through it as fast as possible while ad revenue is so low. So for the moment, what I'm gonna be doing is probably just 1 Aren't the Master video a day. Maybe 2 sometimes if I just feel like being productive. But for the most part, we're not really gonna go like completely ham until either February or just whenever ad revenue goes up, whenever I feel like the videos aren't gonna be wasted. Also, I'm leaning probably towards just not streaming any of it, or at least most of it, and just recording all the videos like this for YouTube, because I can just provide better commentary for this, or sorry, this way. On Twitch, I'm always distracted by other stuff like chat. So yeah, I hope this improves the quality of the videos for you guys. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll catch you guys later.